Hello there, good evening. Thank you for joining us on Coffee Gang this wonderful Saturday evening. It's an evening where we have a lot of sober reflection given the fact that there are a lot of ugly events that has happened in the course of the week. It's a sad moment for many people across the globe, and also Nigeria is not exempted. Looking at the space in which things have been going, and we are much more concerned on Coffee Gang this evening. We are on the coffee table. My name is Bola Bofimos Cole, and I'm not alone here on the coffee table. Dupe, hi.
Hello, good to see you.
Good to see you here.
I'm so glad you're alive. I mean,
right.
With everything that's going
turmoil,
on,
right?
yes, I'm just glad that we can talk, we can see each other, we can say hi, even though we are not exactly happy with what's going on. But then we are here, and thank God.
Life goes on, right?
Life goes on.
All right. This evening, like I said, is a lot of sober reflection for many people across the country. Talking about Nigeria, now we are leaving our ethnic divide. Talking about our ethnic interest here, we are all coming together as one person, as one people to fight for a common cause. And of course, it's no longer new that Uwa Vera or Mozua's case is something that has remained alarming for many people across Nigeria. It is painful, it is ugly, it's something that many people are wondering how their families will get over this. This is not a baby, this is a girl, a grown-up girl who has just gotten admission into a university, and we know how it is to actually get an admission into the university.
Yeah.
But we'll take this and we'll be right back.
11 to that's the time she always goes to read in church. According to the lady, say when they go to the church, it was the security man that got to the house first and asked for the key. And I said my sister has not brought the key back, so that there's still time. We should go and check if my sister is still reading inside. Bite mark all over her body, her hands, her mouth. They tore her head, her eyes. Her eyes was closed. Blood was coming out from ears and nose. Her mouth, she was raped.
Of course, that video was actually showing Vera's sister.
Yeah.
Now, she talked about the instance where her sister was brutally murdered after being raped. And of course, when they saw her, she had tears on her head, in her mouth. Nose was running out of her ears and her nose. You know, it was an ugly sight. And they quickly took her to a private hospital. But when they realized that they couldn't treat her, they had to
Due
take
to the
her
magnitude
to
of the injuries
UBTH. That's University of Benin Teaching Hospital, where she later died on Friday night. You know, Dupe, if you look at all of these instances, it's quite scary, given the fact that we are also women.
Yes.
And of course, we grew somehow. You know, looking at the young lady in question, she's just 22. She's about starting life. And now, you know, a lot of people have mixed reactions, but many people out there are not happy with this development. This is not the first time.
It's not the first time.
It has been a recurring incident. There's been a recurring decimal, having women, young ones, even the older ones, you know, being sexually harassed, assaulted, raped, and of course, murder. Before we even go to Barakat's case here in Oyo State, she was also raped, you know, we are on Saturday now, was actually raped on Wednesday night. You know, if you look at all of these factors put together, where do you think we're going to?
First of all, I just want to send love and light to Hua's family and Baraka's family, because it's just something that is so sad and disheartening. I can't even place it. It's even difficult to digest it that, okay, this is what is going on. And for it to be happening at this time, I mean, the whole world is already sensitive due to the COVID-19 stuff. And now this again is like, God, what is happening? What is happening in 2020? And then I can't imagine what our family is actually going through. I mean, Uwa's family is so sad. They must be so devastated and everything. And I'm just really glad that, okay, everybody's speaking about it. Everybody's saying, okay, justice for Hua and everything. But then again, it's just, we can't even bring her back. Maybe the whole thing that is even...
You know, one thing that is actually very, that has become very disgusting for people out there is apologists of rapists.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
you've seen instances where people ask questions like, what did she go and do in that church?
What was she wearing?
For instance, and of course we saw Barakat's case. Barakat is all hijab, from head to toe, and she's wearing a long gown. So obviously this is not about what you're wearing.
Yes.
Possibly it's not how much your skin is glowing.
It's annoying
it's
when
a
people
psychological
make
thing
excuses,
here. Yeah, you know, when you look at all of these instances, when people try to create excuses,
like,
You
I
keep
mean,
wondering why. Let's look at Uwa's case. She's been in that church for 15 years.
Yes.
15 good years fellowshipping in that particular church.
Working as a chorister.
Exactly.
And then
So she's a member.
boom.
It's not a new person, within that environment, within that vicinity, and also that church. It's not like the first time that she went
Yeah.
to that church. And according to the father, she was the one that even converted the father to become a Christian. All the scenarios that played out in the family is something that we can't really fathom. We can only talk about it. But let's look at the laws that are guiding against rape in Nigeria. You find out that it's very difficult to actually penalize some of these people. Although we've been
Yes.
seeing instances where cases are taken to court. But the problem is that how many people have been sent to jail? They will tell you, go and bring screaming evidence. Where will you get it from?
Yeah, I mean,
You understand?
I can't even place it. How do you expect someone to get screaming evidence? I think the laws are not, I don't know, are not actually strict enough. I think it's more than just, okay, 10 years imprisonment or pay a fine or do something or apologize to the family. It's way beyond that. I think it's just, they should actually do something serious. Like someone was saying, okay, maybe they should castrate them. When you want to catch a rapist, castrate. But
It will discourage others,
I
right?
used
Like
to-
Jungle
before
Justice.
I used to
yeah.
say, oh, that's not okay now. I mean, that was way too far. But then, now I think for me, if I'm to find a solution, castrating them is the best thing, because you can't. It's bad enough to rape someone and then you're killing the person again. Like I mean, come on. The laws, I think they are not actually. I don't know, they're not strict enough.
And I think we have to disabuse our mind from this Africanness, because it's like an African thing where a woman position is always the disadvantaged position.
Yes.
Whatever a woman says, oh, she's nagging again, oh, she's making a lot of noise. That is what women are used to. They love to make a lot of
Yeah,
noise.
and
They
I think-
love to be emotional and sentimental. And most times it's very difficult to actually say what this woman is saying is a pain from the heart, and there's need to actually take it very serious. Let's look at, even I saw a young lady that came out to say, why do you even marry up our young children? For instance, you're an adult. If we look at the issues of religion, we look at the issues of social events within our vicinity, within our community level, so it's quite very difficult. Now we look at the home front. People are already saying that as a mother, begin to
I
talk
was
to
going to say
your
that,
male child.
yes, train them properly. Like, okay, do not make them have this sense of entitlement that, okay, I have every right to do everything. I think it starts from there. It's a build up over time. When once you, okay, allow your son to, okay, sit back, let your sister wash the plates, when you can actually wash the plates too. It starts from all these domestic chores, and then it starts growing when the guy, by the time a boy clocks maybe 12, when he becomes an adolescent or a teenager, he starts to feel that, okay, I'm actually dominant in a way, so I can actually overpower a woman. She's the weakling anyway. So I think the mindset has to change. Our mothers really need to work on the boys now. They always say, oh, work on your daughter, train your daughter, but now I think it's train your boys as well, like make it even.
It's like an equal thing now. You
Yes,
can't just
right.
leave the boy child.
Yeah.
Because you feel like the African thing. Once you have a
African
male
thing.
child, of course, your boss will say Arole. You already have somebody who will take on the name of that particular family for a very
Yes.
long time.
And then-
you feel that that child should be given a very standard kind of treatment, while the female folks within the home are not given such treatment. I think that is barbaric, and I think that should be phasing out in this 21st century.
Yeah.
Whatever our culture is, whatever our belief is. I also still look at the law itself. It says life imprisonment for anybody who rapes. And of course, when you rape somebody, it means that this person did not consent. There is no consent there. It's forcefully done with threats of death. And of course, what we saw with Vera is actually clear. She was a lady that was struggling to survive.
Yes.
And that is why they had to beat her with a fire extinguisher, cut her head, cut her mouth. At a point in time, I keep wondering, how do we deal with all of this factor? I actually saw a particular Facebook message of a particular guy. The guy by the name LM or something came up to say, why wouldn't they rape her? Because why would you be dating two roommates at the same time? And people were just all over the social media and were saying that police should pick up such an individual.
Is a suspect.
All of these instances playing out in our society. Let's look at the rate of poverty. Let's look at the global pandemic. Let's look at the level of unemployment. Should we begin to have sex predators out there? Who feels that the only way...
Even if she's dating tough guys at the same time, it's not enough reason to rape her, because she didn't say yes to it.
It wasn't a consent.
Yeah, it wasn't a consent. So I don't know why. When such things happen, people tend to shift blame on the victim.
Excuses.
Yes. Okay. What was she wearing? Where was she? Why was she house late? Why was she doing that? But it's not enough reason to actually rape someone. As long as she didn't say yes. Okay. I mean, rape is something that is forcefully done. It's not a mutual agreement. So, some many people have been annoying me with their comments.
Online,
Like, okay, like, okay. Well, I don't even understand why someone would say, okay, what was she wearing? Okay, maybe the guy asked her out and then she abused the guy. Even if she did, for crying out, it's not enough reason. Like, this is someone's life, a young promising child. It's just with this. That guy should, of course, arrested.
Well, I feel that our researchers too need to go a long way, because we live in a society where young ladies now have become prey in the hands of all the sex predators. They're out there prowling and looking for any young lady available to actually rape. It's a sad development, and it's not something that we should just close our eyes and sleep, because once we sleep, these are reported cases. What about the ones that we don't even know what had happened?
Yeah.
And this person will be declared missing. The bodies will not be found, and it's just like that. The way it goes for the ladies, it also goes for the guys too. There must be equal protection, but it's more prevalent among young women here, where they are raped. And of course, the issue of stigmatization, we need to actually take that away from our society. We shouldn't stigmatize someone into guilt. It is not the fault of somebody who has been raped. It is the fault of the rapist who has raped the person. And it's always very difficult to distinguish this point when people begin to say, yes, that lady has been raped, and of course people will say, well, what was she doing at that particular point? And she becomes the victim. Somebody that's supposed to be a victim becomes the person who is being accused of being raped. All of these instances put together, I think our society needs to begin to fight collectively to actually get to a cause. We see what is going on in America, for instance, where a George Floyd was actually killed on a broad daylight, and we saw how people reacted, both the white, the black, everybody coming together with one voice to fight a cause. When will we get to that level in Nigeria? Well, some people will not sit at the corners of their home and just say, what is the big deal?
Why did they all say, well?
I think maybe it's a chilling word. Chilling word. Okay. What's the big deal? It's a big deal, because it's happening to somebody else today. Doesn't mean that your sister is free. If you are an abuser in our society and you abuse someone and go under the covers of your home and feel that you've gotten a refuge in a society you've abused, how then do you want to live a proper life? Because you've abused the society, it means that you'll be having people who have been abused, and you can't get a better life within a society where people are not happy, where they have been abused. People are having something underneath, and at the end of the day, you see these people becoming something else within our society, because psychologically they have been affected. And if you look at the stories now, people are beginning to talk about their own cases, experiences, very alarming, and
everyone has,
and it's scary.
Everyone has something to talk about.
Exactly.
It might not be rape, but it might be fine.
Sexual assault.
Yes, a whole lot. In fact, a lady might just be walking by the roadside and they say, "Oh, see her big boobs." Like, that's a form of assault too. It's a verbal assault. Like, it should not be encouraged. But I also want to talk about the level of technology in Nigeria. I think we need to work, because if there's a footage, they might have actually seen those that actually committed that crime. If there's
within the church premises itself, like
I think this would make things change in terms of technology. Maybe the government actually work, or maybe the I don't know, maybe what's called the local government chairmen and everything can actually work on getting CCTV somewhere that is actually prominent. So in case short things happen, they're able to cover it. At least there has to be a footage. Like what happened with George Floyd in America. There was a footage. That was when they were able to see that, oh, it was this person that actually did it. So I think we should actually work on that in this country. It's very, very important with the high rate of rape.
Yes, in as much as you said that, Dupe, but I also feel that for George Floyd, he was very lucky. He had people who recorded it from the beginning till the end. So there was a screaming evidence. There's nothing the police could do at that point in time, because it was screaming. But now we look at the time these people went to attack Vera. It wasn't like the broad daylight. She was reading and she was about to go home. She's been reading all through the night and she was just about to take her leave, and these people pounced on her, pushed pushed her and everything, beat her up to the extent that she couldn't open her eyes. When I saw the picture of her body, I was wondering, is she the same person? How can you batter somebody that
this not
way?
social media drama again.
Oh
I was
my
asking myself,
God.
"Hey,
It was that terrible.
Like, man,
But I feel that if you are somebody who abuses, especially the other gender, because you feel that the person is a weaker vessel, I think it's something you need to shelve.
Yeah.
Because number one, whatever you do, there is a nemesis. It might not be like instantly. People will say, well, we have done it and it's over time. You will one day have your own daughter.
Yeah.
And people who does this will always run away from, the laws.
True.
And, hide under the pretense of, well, they have actually left that kind of lifestyle. Now they have gotten married and they are responsible. But do remember that you also have your own daughter.
Yes.
And nobody prays for things like this to happen to the sister, the auntie, or even your daughter. So the moment you begin to shift blames and say, yes, they have chosen to be raped. Nobody chooses to be raped. It's a very serious crime, and I hope that our government will take it serious.
Yeah.
Yes, we have the Senate President already saying that there will be stiffer penalties. Yes, when we have all of these laws in place, let's see what the implementation process will be
it's
like.
one thing to
for us to actually have all of these laws.
To actually implement these laws, and again, corruption is actually everywhere. So people are actually, okay, fine. I heard about one rape case some times ago, and it was so serious. 3 boys gang raped a girl and all of that. And then they're like, okay, they've been taken to the police and everything. They've charged to court and all of that. After like 2 months, I started seeing those boys again on the streets, and I'm like, oh, it happened in my area. And I was like, are you serious? So nothing happened.
And they keep walking around
Yes,
and doing the
they
same
did.
thing
In fact,
to other women.
So I'm like, okay, what is actually going on? I was really, really angry at that time, but then again,
And I also feel that the police too has a role to play in this. When cases like this come before the police, they should not be asking people that have come to report
Yes,
for
like,
mobility money. Like, it's not you that caused it. Something happened and you needed the law enforcement officers to take action. So for now, somebody has gone to say, Oga, this is what is happening. No, my daughter in question, God forbid, this thing has happened.
Seriously.
And you are now saying, give me mobility money. Oga, is it the first time this thing is happening? And those were the experiences that Uwa father had. When he went to the police station, they were telling him, bring mobility money first. Oga, is it the first time? What is the big deal? Is that sad? When we don't take it serious at that level of law enforcement agencies, how does the ordinary guy who has committed this crime see it as a big crime? He feels that, well, our laws are not punitive enough. Those people that are supposed to enforce the laws, they don't even care. They are looking for how to fill their pockets at the detriment of people's lives. So I think that they should be overhaul of their policing system. It's a serious thing to be a police officer. It's not just to wear those clothes and those uniforms.
And
Why you,
20 naira, 50 naira.
It's that sad. Look at what happened to Tina because of 100 naira. Then you now have to shoot. The young lady's life was destroyed. She couldn't achieve her dreams of becoming whoever she wants to become in life. So I think just beyond putting on those uniform, going about with your stick, they call it, Yoruba people say kondo, going around with kondo and your guns. Actually, there's a lot of responsibility for a police officer. Ordinarily, when you see that uniform, when you are in danger, you should have this heave of relief that, thank God.
Stop
a
saying
uniform man is around.
Police is your friend, they are killing us. Like,
Exactly.
let's know what you're doing.
Not that when you wear the uniform, people are scared and like, these people are coming.
You're supposed to protect us. You're supposed to protect us, and then you're actually killing.
You're scared of them.
Come on.
It's actually a sad incident, and we just hope that this will not end in lip service. Not like when people carry placard now and say, yes, justice for Uwa, and at the end of the day, nothing happens. I know that Cynthia Osokogo, several years back, she got justice after several years, and of course, these guys in question that gang raped her and of course killed her were sentenced to life imprisonment. And I also want to tell those people selling all this, what do they call them now? All these drugs in the chemist, giving to drug ladies to rape them. They have to stop it. We saw that in Cynthia's case, where she was drugged and she lost her consciousness, and these people pounced on her, not just leaving her like that, killed her and stole things from her. Is that barbaric? What is it that a young guy will see in a young lady and feels that is an opportunity for you to take advantage?
It's like you just see ladies as sex objects,
which is sad.
We're not just, we are human beings like you. Like, you shouldn't see us as, okay, just a lady, she's just about pleasure, I just want to derive pleasure. We are more than that. We are more than that. And I'm still going to go back to the home. They say charity begins at home. It's not about the mother now. The parents should actually train up their children, not saying, okay, fine, let me focus on the girl because she, afterwards she's going to end up in the kitchen. But then train the kids equally. Like, once you see your son beating up your daughter, it starts from there, like beating your younger sister. Like, why now? Even if she does something wrong, it's for the parents to actually correct. If they want to beat the child, let them beat the child, not your elder brother beating your elder sister, because that's where it starts. Gradually,
you develop that.
Yes, then you start beating your girlfriend, then you start raping someone, then you feel, okay, because I can beat this one and render her powerless and I can actually rape her. It starts from these little things that parents tend to
gloss over.
Yes, they feel like, okay, she's just training her younger sister, he's just training her younger sister, his younger sister, but at the end of the day, the guy grows up and turns out to be something else.
You know, another interesting thing that the new aide to Governor Akeredolu of Ondo State, Ngozi Ugochi she said recently, she's actually from Akeredolu's wife, and she said that she learned how to do taekwondo. She's actually a graduate from Benin University itself, and she said ladies need to learn the skills of taekwondo, for instance, how to defend themselves. That if, for instance, Uwa has those skills, she would have been able to fight her way through and, of course, escape.
But it's one man.
But we don't know what skills this taekwondo is. Maybe you can deal with like 5 people at the same time. You know those Chinese that used to fight?
It's the Chinese things. Not in Nigeria.
But she's suggesting that ladies should be trained, especially the young ladies, you know, trained in taekwondo skills, so that when you have instances like this, you're able to defend yourself. In Nigeria, we don't even know what we have. I know in the US, for instance, you have licensed gun. Instances where you are attacked, you can actually defend yourself easily. You have pepper spray being sold at different points where you can actually have access to them. But in Nigeria, how many people have access to pepper spray, for instance? I know people sell it codedly, but is it allowed in our society? That's another question. And people have been saying that ladies need to start getting all of these things in their bags. Like, for instance, somebody is trying to attack you, you could spray the pepper spray and instantly run away before they fight and get themselves.
Come for me, because I have some things in my bag that really shock you. So
okay, that's a warning.
When you see me, just run away.
That's a big warning coming from Dupe. That sad that people need to start equipping themselves. But beyond people taking,
just rather do ballet.
Oh, ballet is actually dancing.
Yes, the other dance than do taekwondo. Like, I can't even imagine the girl doing.
But it's just. But what I think what Ngozi was trying to say is defend yourself.
Defend yourself.
Then stories later. At least just leave the place and be safe.
And be safe.
Then the stories cannot. Oh, they wanted to rape. Oh, they came in drones. Oh, they did this. Yeah. But you would have gone at that point in time. That's our own suggestion. Some people will say, well, that's too tough for a lady to actually go
how many trainers do we even have in this country? Yes,
that's another question. And I think it's a sporting event.
Yes,
it comes under sport, and maybe from schools, like catch them young. You can't expect somebody that the body is already stiff now and you want to go and fight taekwondo.
I cannot learn anything again.
It might be a lot of difficult work. They said you do a lot of exercises to actually get yourself through. But in as much as you said, people have been coming up with suggestions as to how best to handle the issue of rape. But what I would say before we go this evening is that the government needs to take responsibility in terms of our laws. And of course, at the home front, we should do equal training for our children. We shouldn't have this sideline that is a boy, special preferential treatment, and leave the ladies, you know, to do all the chores, to take all the responsibilities. We have to train them together so we have a responsible society. And lastly, please stop stigmatization. Rape isn't something that is good. Nobody wants it. And we are hoping that this actually goes out from our community with Uwa's case, that it ends it all, and all the people that have risen up now to say we must end rape should actually take it forward further and actually do something, not just saying it. We have the celebrities coming up, we have our politicians talking about it, we have technocrats, everybody. Even the likes of Obi Ezekwesili has also called a parent, and she's also saying she's not happy about the development. Just not being happy about the development is not enough. We must press further and actually end this once and for all. And we're just going to end on this note this evening with that. We hope that our society will be better. It's a sober reflection. We have so much things bothering us, but we hope that we'll get over it and get better as a nation itself. Well, that's the most much we can take this evening. Dupe, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I want to press smiles. And if you're a rapist or potential rapist,
Or an apologist, right?
Yes, please have a change of mind. It's just 5 minutes for you. It's a lifetime for her. So please have a change of mind. I want to press smiles. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you, and I'm Golabo Famous Co. Do remember to follow us on social media and have a pleasant weekend. Bye for now.